which is completely a fucking lie. Prove it, which you can't. And you heard Tariq Nasheed talk about this, about, you know, people, outsiders trying to colonize and jack our hard work and deprive us of history. Now, we all know that there's going to be some black people that's going to co-sign this stuff, because a lot of black men and black women are cowards. They act like it's so hard for them to basically respond to this and dispute this. But they're scared because they're worried about backlash or so-called cancellation from that community, which I don't care. And I've been in this for years. What more proof do you need that we have no alliance? We have no alliance with anybody. We have no allies. There is no black and brown coalition. They're not with us. They don't ride with us. They don't ride for us. But this they do. They do like what everybody else do. Infiltrate and emulate by him. But then what he's is, when you hear black people say, well, we helped build this country, he's basically trying to give people from the other side a talking point. And you know what I mean by people from the other side. Basically stir up controversy and basically try to unfactual debate about who helped build this country, and basically try to discredit black people and how we contribute to building this country and making America. But like I said, it's going to be some black people that's going to co-sign this BS, just like they co-sign everything else. Just like you have people sitting up defending that white chick who been sitting up here trying to say that slavery wasn't that big of a deal and talk about how black people shouldn't get reparations. Like I said, sometimes the biggest oppressors and co-opers are people that look like us. I hate to say it. I hate to say it, and it's unfortunate, but it's true. What proof do you have? And I'm going to say this again. You Latinos didn't help build hip-hop. You didn't. You didn't build shit. Hip-hop started in Africa. And when it got into the States, and when the slaves so-called getting freed, it really a lot of it started from the church. It started from basically preaching, because a lot of times the preachers would rhyme. So that played a pivotal role in establishing hip hop. And if you look at some of the songs from the 20s by some of these artists, they were rhyming. If you look at old poetry from, you know, the 20s and the 10s and stuff that was recorded, you would see some of these black artists rhyming. And no, it didn't come from, and those dudes wasn't from Jamaica or none of that stuff. Not dissing Jamaicans, but y'all didn't create hip hop neither. If you defend it, if you offended and you want to try to defend it, that's your right. But I'm just telling you, not factual. But this is what people do. This is what all these groups are doing, trying to deprive and rob black people of their contributions, trying to co-opt us. But this people call themselves people of color. This is why we have to stand out. This is why we have to distance ourselves. This is why I don't call myself a person of color. I'm black. Because when we ask for stuff for our community, this is what you get. When you ask the higher uppers things that can help the black community, they'll say, oh, well, we've given this group, so we have contributed to, you know, case studies when it comes to assisting people of color. When they say people of color, that doesn't mean black people. because we sat up there and let these people, these Latinos and these other groups, even Asians, call themselves people of color. And if you look at most of these Asians, for the most part, they have pale faces. So how are they a person of color when they have next to no melanin in them? So like I said before, this is what you black people get for sitting up here trusting these people, thinking these people are our allies, and they're not. They're going to undermine every chance they get. To sit up there and see John Leguizamo with his sorry ass sit up there and say something that is just unequivocally false. It's a lie. It's a lie. But what's going to happen is you're going to have black people that's going to defend him when we call him out, because black people are so that, you know, the thing is, we always worry about making other people upset and not making other people mad at us. But nobody has no problem disrespecting us. Nobody. It's a fraud when it comes to disrespecting black people, because we are let down in our community. We are let down by our Congress, our politicians. Nobody undermines the black community more than so-called black politicians. This is why I told people, do not trust Kamala Harris. This is why Harris, because she's a black woman, and which, by the way, Kamala Harris was passing herself off as Indian when she was working in the Bay Area, when she was a local politician, when she worked for the state assembly. She was calling herself Indian. She was not calling herself black. She is not in touch with black culture. And just because she went to a historically black college, which most of those black colleges, if not all of them, were basically founded by white people, what the hell does that mean? You do know there's white people at Clark and places like, I mean, for real, those type of historically black colleges. You do know white people go there too, and Hispanics and Asians to a certain degree. But the funny thing is, these are the same people that will have the audacity to try to talk shit about black people. But that's what y'all get. That's what y'all get for trusting everybody and thinking everybody is for us. And thinking that they down with us when they're clearly not. And I've been saying this for years. John Leguizamo's comments was clearly dissing black people. If we really to work together, and you know, there's gonna be some people in our group that's, every group had ignorant people, whether it's white people, whether it's Hispanics, whether it's Asians. We can't always just focus on stuff like what happened in Chicago with those teens running amok. But that's what happens for the most part when you don't have a father figure in your household. That's the end results of being raised by a woman. And I know some black women gonna be mad, but I'm sorry, I'm just gonna have to start hitting y'all with the truth. You can't raise a boy to be a man. No matter how masculine you think you are, you ain't no motherfucking man. And it don't matter how you want to get your hair cut and get a low top fade, or try to have what you would call a man like afro with curls in it and dreads and all that shit. You ain't gonna never be no motherfucking man. And I know society in particularly have told y'all that you're more man than an actual black man, but you're not. And I don't care about the backlash, and I don't care about your condescending responses. You not. You failed, and it's been proven. All you got to do is look around. If you're not raising men to be feminine, you're turning them into a straight woman. No dude should be walking around here wearing purses and walking around with nail polish, and even walking around wearing dresses and calling themselves masculine, or claiming it's toxic masculinity. If you want to present yourself as a heterosexual man and want to look like a heterosexual man, I know I'm gonna catch a lot of slack, but I'm just keeping it 100. As long as we run from the truth, this is gonna continue to happen in our community. We've fallen by the waistline, and we don't want to admit it. We still trying to play this game of who and what. We already know what's happening. We know when to have the answers, but we want to pretend and play stupid like we don't know what's going on. So at the end of the day, I'm just keeping it a buck. Fuck John Leguizamo. For real. Prove it. Prove it that you built this country. Prove it. Prove it. You fucking you can't, because you know it's a lie. Because you know it's a lie. I don't know how many times I tell this to y'all, black men and black women. We have no damn allies. Stop being afraid to stand up for yourself and for your group and for your people. Now, I'm going to respond to this lightweight on the other channel. You know, at the end, there's still boundaries that you can't cross that's been set up by YouTube. But I am going to respond to John Leguizamo, because John Leguizamo is full of it. He's a damn Leguizamo, because John Leguizamo is full of it. He's a damn lie, and I tell him right to his face. And I tell him right to his face. Now, before somebody come on here and say, well, what about the Afro-Latino? What about them? They have a history of playing both sides of the fence. When they're around blacks, they want what you would call nigger privileges. But when they not around blacks, they be talking shit about blacks. You only with us when you around us. Now, I'm not saying all of y'all think like that, but a lot of y'all do. A lot of y'all been playing both sides of the fence. Either you with us or you not. Being an Afro-Latino is just being in touch with Spanish culture and really just the language. But at the end, when the police pull your ass over and you dark as the ace of spades, they ain't gonna be trying to hear that. Oh, I'm not black, I'm Hispanic. Well, you gonna be a nigga when they take your ass downtown or take your ass to Central Bookings. You might have a Spanish name, but to them, you just another nigga. Take it however you want. You get mad, you don't want to hear the truth? Fine. Even when the truth is presented to you, you still in denial for the most part. So just stop the cap. And then a lot of times those lighter or pale face Hispanics, they don't like y'all neither. Because for the most part, a lot of them consider themselves white. And a lot of times when they do the census, they mark down white. So y'all get used too. They don't really fuck with y'all like that. Let's just keep it a buck. But John Leguizamo is full of it. Now, like I said, I wonder who's gonna be the first black person to co-sign this and pander to this. Because like I said, that's all black people do is stay pandering to other people, because we have this weak mentality that we can't lead when we truly can. Dude, what are you doing? Dude, what are you? fuck are you doing? Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. I'll talk to you guys later.